Hi everyone, thank you so much for joining. It's Christine with Sunny Bunny Gardens. Hi my TikTok friends and hi my Instagram friends. If it looks like I'm looking between two cameras, it's because I am using two cameras. So hopefully it won't be too distracting because I want to try to connect with both of you. So thank you again so much for joining me this morning. It is Soapy Saturday, which means that I'm going to be cutting the soap that I made yesterday. Friday? Yeah, yesterday, Friday. So I've got 16 loaves of soap to cut today, 8 loaves of Floral Garden, and 8 loaves of mint tea tree. So hopefully you brought your coffee. And this morning I have something a little bit different, not donuts. My husband thought that it might be a little bit more healthy choice for me to not have donuts every weekend. So he picked up some vegan, kind of like little chocolate macaroons and kind of like a vegan date, almost like a little fudgy cube or something. So I have something a little bit different for my little snack this morning, and let's try it. These are so good. Oh my God, these are so good. Almost tastes like there's rum or something in it. I'm sure there isn't, but I do like kind of pick up a little rum. I don't know, but it just tastes yummy. And I've got my cup of joe, and I hope you like this cup. This was my dad's cup. So this is very old. I'm sure this is probably from the 60s or something like that. I remember being real young and seeing my dad using this cup to drink his coffee. So a little nostalgic, a little something new. And thanks you guys for joining. I appreciate it. So let's get to cutting some soap. I'll put my goodies over here for now. So like I said, I'm cutting Floral Garden first, which is actually one of my favorite bars. I love the scent of this one. I'm usually not a super floral, even though I love the smell of flowers. I'm usually not one to gravitate towards floral scents though, like for, body stuff. I just never kind of was me. But when I put together the scent for this one, oh man, I really dig it. So Floral Garden has lavender essential oil, palmarosa essential oil, and geranium essential oil. So it just really gives kind of this really deep floral, a little kind of rosy, but not too rosy. And the lavender kind of balances it out. So it really is just a really great fragrance. I absolutely love this one. And I made this, you'll see it when I open it up. It has activated charcoal, which is really great for the pores. I know that everybody kind of is all into activated charcoal, which is awesome because it's really a great natural ingredient. And then I got the pink color from Rose Clay. So you can see the top. I have all kinds of different dried botanicals, and then I did kind of a 2-layered look to it. So I really love this bar. Plus it has tons and tons of botanicals on top, which I absolutely love too. So let me know, you guys, if you have any questions or if there's anything you want to talk about today regarding soap or gardening or anything. I don't know, anything. Well, I shouldn't say anything. Let's kind of treat it a little bit like Thanksgiving dinner with your family. Let's not talk about politics and let's not talk about religion. those two things let's not talk about. But we'll talk about anything else. I want to talk about fun stuff. Fun stuff that nobody's going to argue about. I think there's enough of that going on in the world that Soapy Saturday doesn't need to be about negative things. It's kind of a weird day today. If you've joined me in the past, I open my big garage door when I'm working out in the shop now. And last weekend we had like triple digit, heat wave. It's awful. So last weekend I was, sweating out here and couldn't stay out here all day long because of the heat. But this week and this weekend, it's like overcast. We even got a little bit of rain, just a little bit. And the weather is like in, the upper 60s, low 70s. I'm absolutely loving it. Hi, Mom. Thank you for joining. How much of a water discount do I do? That's a good question. Okay, so as you guys know, this is maybe I'll first go into why a lot of times I'm going to hesitate. That's one of the reasons why I am doing these lives, because I have terrible anxiety and I get very, very nervous talking in front of people, not so much to people, but in front of people and answering questions. So I thought, what's a good way for me to try to get over this fear than to talk to a bunch of strangers that I call my friends, my social media friends, which is what you guys are. So one of my biggest fears, though, of doing this is being asked questions that I know in my brain, but I get really, really nervous and I all of a sudden will just have a complete brain fart. So people will ask me questions, which that's what I'm wanting to do. I'm wanting to answer questions and maybe even ask questions for myself. But I may go like, oh, let me look at my notes because I forget things and I, have these brain farts where it's things that I totally know and I just don't remember. And especially if I'm asked, I then immediately forget. So that is a great question, and I'm going to answer it right now, but I'm going to pull out my notes because I never remember specifics like that. So the water discount that I am currently doing is about a 22.5%, and it's a 1 to 6 to 1 ratio. So I said that kind of fast. Let me say it again. It's a 1 to 6 to 1 ratio, and it's a 22.5% percentage. So hopefully that answers your question. Now, what I did when I started trying to figure out the amount of water that I wanted to put in, because when I first started making cold processed soap, I just went off of the recipes that I was learning how to do, but I was trying to make the soda ash not so bad. So I literally just went to soapcalc.net, I believe it is, and put in what I was currently using, and then just started decreasing it with practice. Like I would do one batch at a little bit low. I mean, I would just go little by little increments so that I wouldn't freak out and all of a sudden things move too quickly or whatever. So that's what I would suggest to anybody if you're wanting to change how much water you're using, to just do it in small amounts, decrease it just a little bit, and then if you felt comfortable with that, decrease it a little bit more. In this one, it's not a huge water discount, but it was enough to go, you know what, things are still moving well for me. I'm still feeling comfortable. I don't do a water discount on some things just because of the essential oils that I'm using, and they in themselves are going to accelerate, so I don't want to decrease the water too much. So do it a little bit at a time and find that happy spot that you feel comfortable with. I know that some soapers use practically no water at all. I think, what is it, a 1 to 1 to 1 or something like that, or 1 to 1 to 1 to 2. I don't know, but I'm like, yeah, I don't even feel comfortable doing that. I'm like, I'm trying to do things on a larger basis, and that just freaks me out. But I know that there's some awesome soapers out there that do huge amounts of soaps with a huge water discount, and they're masters, man. So I like, it amazes me. Which one do you use more in your soaps? Essence or essential oil, or both? Essence, I've never heard of essence oil. I don't know if maybe you're meaning fragrance oils. I mean, or at least that's what I call them. Essential oils or fragrance oils. I use both, but I would say probably 70% essential, 30% fragrance. I do, I try to scent my soaps with more like, quote unquote, like what natural scents are. But there's just some fun stuff that, you can't do with essential oils. So I do like to use, fragrance oils for some things. Yes, I am going to cut the soap. Sorry, I am talking kind of a lot. But yes, I'm unmolding. And I will cut. I'm just kind of talking a little bit more than normal and going a little slow. So if you bear with me, I will be cutting this soap. So am I going really slow, you guys? Sorry. I don't mean to. Not at all. It's just these do have a ton of botanicals on them, so I do kind of act a little bit more with care with all these botanicals, trying not to knock them all off, and of course, then just make a huge mess, right? Even though I'm going to make a mess anyways. Oh, thanks, Cindy. You're sweet. I appreciate that. Yeah, this is. Yeah, for people that are, very nervous with talking to people, this is, even though I will say, you guys, I absolutely love doing these lives. I absolutely love it, but it does still, make me really nervous. So I probably still say and but and just all that kind of stuff a lot, but I'm hoping to get better and better. Oh, you just bought some soap? Oh, thank you. Thank you. I really appreciate that. I hope you like them. Have you received? Oh, so you have received them so far. Okay, well, I hope you like them. Please let me know. I really do always appreciate feedback, because it helps, especially, I'm not always just asking for even just positive. Let me know what you think. What are you doing? Heidi, I'm going to be cutting soap today. I'm a soap maker, and on Saturdays I cut soap live that I made the previous day, and I answer questions or just kind of talk about soap stuff or anything else that you guys want to talk about. I'm a gardener, so I always kind of want to put it out there that, if you want to talk about gardening and stuff like that, I'm totally down for that too, as well as drinking coffee and eating snacks while I'm doing this. Yes, please do. 7 soap. So I'm assuming 7 soap 7. You're a soap maker. Have you been making soap long, or is that like a hobby, or is that your business? Just curious. All right, we're gonna pull out my soap cutter because I have all 8 loaves of the Floral Garden now have been unmolded. So we'll see if I can kind of get this and picture a little bit for you. And now, because of all the botanicals, lots of botanicals on top, normally I try to always cut these on its side. We'll see. I'm going to try to do this one and see how it goes. But to be honest, sometimes my upper body strength can't get it through. And if I'm struggling, I really don't want to embarrass myself by showing how incredibly weak my upper body is. Happy Saturday. I want to learn how to make soap. Okay, Kaylee, well, you're at the right place, so please feel free to ask questions. I don't have lives of the actual making of soap. I haven't quite had the guts to do that yet. But feel free to ask me any questions you have, and I'll do my damnedest to answer them for you. All right, I feel like I need just a little bit of a drink of coffee though. It's chilly this morning, and it's very much a hot coffee morning, and I love it. I love cool mornings as opposed to hot, steamy ones. Yucky. I don't like those. Okay, we're gonna go down and see if I can. All right. Hey. That's. Maybe I'm getting stronger. All right. Okay, let's open these up and see how they came out. Okay. I still got a little bit of a drag from the botanicals, but hey, what can you do? It's just part of the process. So here's the inside. So it just has a little bit of a, a peak with the activated charcoal, and then this is the rose clay. First things first, coffee is important. Yes, it is. Coffee is incredibly important, and incredibly important to me. I'm not really what you would call a morning person, so I definitely can use the added stimulation. Thank you. I don't know if I'm Kalis. I'm sorry if I said your name wrong earlier. I apologize, Kalis. And I did, as usual, I forgot my glasses to make sure that I'm even being able to read things the way that I need to be. Okay, so let's continue opening these up. Okay. Keep going. So let me know if you guys, which method do you use for drying herbs or plants, fresh or drier? Both. I mainly use, I have a large, I think it's 6 or 7 feet tall, maybe 6 feet tall, hanging dryer that I have in my backyard, and it's basically a tiered mesh hanging thing. I know, that's really great description. Hanging thing, and it has different tiers, and it's completely enclosed with a little zipper so that it's mesh, so it gets really great airflow. And that's what I dry all my flowers in, and some herbs. I have found though that a lot of herbs seem to look visually as well as keep their scent more with a dehydrator. I don't know why, it's just in my experience. So when I'm drying like rosemary or mint or oregano or something like that, I put those in the dehydrator on low for maybe 4 hours or something like that. But when it comes to the flowers, because my dehydrator is, it's only this tall and it has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, like 6, I think I have 6 layers in it. I would have to be using it constantly and using a lot of electricity. So that's where this hanging one that I just have outside, and I just keep adding to it because it's so big. And then once a level is full, then I move down into, a second level. So right now I think I've got all levels, I'm working on all levels except for one. So soon I'll be emptying one level and then, checking for dryness, separating anything that needs to be separated out, because I do like to keep my botanicals filed according to colors. And then I have like a mix. So it's like, a mix, like for instance, what I used on the floral gardens is a mix of just all kinds of different dried flowers. There might be, some dried herbs in there. There might even be some dried citrus peels. What else is in here that I can see? It looks like there's some Himalayan salt. I mean, it's just kind of a mixture of all different, kinds, and then I just kind of put it together and put it all in a big mason jar for my mix. But everything else I keep separate. So when I have certain looks that I'm going for, I specifically just want, orange and purple or something like that on a bar, then I'm able to, go to my orange box to pull out orange flowers and my purple box to, pull out purple flowers. So that's what I do. Cindy, you're a novice soap maker. Oh, right on. So you're just doing it as a hobby. That's great. That's how I started too. Oh, okay. I do kind of feel sometimes like my upper body strength is getting a little bit better. There we go. So either that or it's just wishful thinking. It's probably wishful thinking. I don't have great body strength, upper body strength especially, but it is what it is. I'm to an age to where I'm just like, it is what it is. That's who I am. That's what my body is doing, you know. Thanks, Cindy. These do smell. Oh, I really, really, really love the smell of these. I know, that's just, which is, I still get surprised at myself that I love it so much, because I'm usually not, you know, that into florals. God, there is a lot of different. My botanical mix is getting a little low. I'm gonna need to. I just noticed that my jar is getting low when I was putting these on yesterday. Okay. And so I'm just making a stack right here. I've been getting into a really bad habit on Saturdays with my Soapy Saturday that I end up putting my stacks way too close, and then I'm like this by the end. And I feel like I'm trying not to do that, and I don't know why, I just haven't gotten my groove to where these all should go. What's your recommendation to add herbs to soap saturated? Okay, all right, so the question is, what's your recommendation to add herbs to soap saturated in oil 24 hours ago, or add the time of making soap? Okay, so I'm gonna, before I can completely answer that, I wanna make sure that I'm understanding the question, because when you're saying add herbs to soaps, are you meaning adding it inside the soap, like into the batter, or are you just talking about on top of the soap? So if you're talking, let's go to the easy one first. If you're talking about on top of the soap, then you need to make sure that whatever you're putting on top of the soap is 100% dry. There can be no moisture or water in it, because then it can mold. You don't want that. So that's actually a pretty easy one. Just make sure that whatever you're putting on top, flowers, herbs, whatever, 100% dry, and don't put it too far in. Like I just, I sprinkle it, and then anything that looks like it needs a little bit of help to get it stuck in there, stick in there, but I don't like cram it all in there, because some things, especially lavender, after a while can start to even brown just a little bit around it. So I try not to put it too far deep. If you're talking about going into the batter, to the soap batter itself, I don't put herbs in, but as long as the herb or powder that you're using, whether it be, like powdered citrus peel, or maybe you're putting in some crushed mint, or anything like that, it make sure you're putting into, if you're infusing in oil, it still again needs to be 100% dry. There can be no water in it, so it's dry, and then you can either infuse in your oils, like I infuse. I don't have there isn't anything in this right now, but this, for instance, was a jar that I was infusing nettles, nettle powder, and olive oil. So no water, completely dried. Put this is olive oil or whatever carrier oil you want, and then make sure it's a clean jar, a clean lid, and you then again, it doesn't really matter. You can do it both ways. You can mix it into your oils, stir them up a bit, and then add your lye, and then go from there. No problem. Or you can do it at like trace. It really just depends on what herb or whatever you're using. But usually when I'm putting any additives into the batter, most of the time I do it before I put the lye in, because I want to stir it up with my blender, whether it be the activated charcoal or some clays, or it's pumice sand, whatever, additives I'm adding, I'll add it to the lye, stir it up, add it to the oils prior to lye, stir it up real good, then add your lye, and then you should get a really good incorporation into your batter. I hope, God, that's a really long answer, wasn't it? I hope that very, very long answer answered your question. Wow, Christine, you could be really long-winded. Jeez, super long-winded. Oh, well. You're either going to get lots of information or just be bored to tears, whichever. Okay, this one's a little bit harder. Ooh, all right. Okay. And even with cutting the soaps this way, which is supposed to help with drags, you still, I don't know, can you see that? You still can sometimes get a little bit of drag marks. It happens. Can you see that? You still can sometimes get a little bit of drag marks. It happens. What can you do? There's nothing perfect with handmade soap making. That is my motto. Don't expect perfection with handmade soap making. As long as it works, that's the most important thing. And if it looks beautiful as well, then that's great. But little tiny imperfections, let's not sweat that stuff. That's not the important stuff. And plus, those little imperfections kind of prove that it's handmade, right? I think that's what's kind of cool. Well, thanks for all your little hearts and happy faces and flowers. Oh, I can't pick that up bad and almost dropped it. Yeah, these things are like 5 pounds each, so oops. So you don't, you do kind of use quite a bit of muscles just doing soap making. There's some heavy buckets, heavy buckets. I'm starting to get the majority now of my oils and stuff now in big buckets and stuff, as opposed to gallons, and they're heavy, and so I do have to ask my husband for help on that kind of stuff so that I'm not messing up my back any more than it already is. So, but yeah, it's muscle work, little bits of workout every time making soap. I am starting to imprison myself right here. You can't see it, but I'm getting like, my stacks are starting to encroach to where I can barely move now. So let me just move these over. Sorry, I'm out of shot for just a second here. Just get these out of the way. Okay. 'Cause it's, I don't know, finding kind of that happy medium of trying to get what you can in the shot, right? And it's really kind of hard because lives don't want you to go horizontal. They want you to go this way. What kind of soap is that? This particular soap that I am cutting right now is my Floral Garden soap. This is a cold process soap, and this is made with activated charcoal and rose clay to get those colors, and scented with essential oils. Oh, 7 Soap. Well, thank you so much for the badge. Oh my God, thank you. Wow, you're awesome. I really appreciate that. Thank you. God, you're gonna make me cry. That's like, I don't like, thank you for the gift. I appreciate that so much. That's really sweet. Okay. The other thing that I wish that we were able to do with lives, I think we can on TikTok, but I know we can't on Instagram, and I know I've said this in the past, but I really wish we were able to, play music. I mean, I have, some music in the background, but it's really, really, thank you, 7 Soap, thank you. I really, enjoy listening to music, and maybe a little louder than I should, but, it just kind of gets you in a good mood and everything, and it could be topic of conversations too, right? But we're not able to do it on Instagram. Boo, Instagram. So, I mean, I get it. I get why. But it's like, seriously, if it's background music, I don't understand why that should be a copyright thing. It isn't like I'm making money off their music. But whatever, we don't need to get into that. I'm not going to sit here and bitch and complain, even though I am, aren't I? I am bitching and complaining. Okay, I'll stop the bitching and complaining. That's not what we're here for. How much soap do you make each week? I make 16 loaves, pretty much on my average week. So 16 loaves, it's 288 bars a week that I'm doing. And I'm find that if I skip a week or whatever, you know, maybe I wasn't feeling well, or I don't know, life, I then can get behind very quickly. So I'm trying my best to make sure that I keep up with making sure that life and the rest of the business and all other kinds of stuff don't interfere to make it to where I miss my weekly goal, so that I'm not running out of stock on stuff. Because if you don't have it in stock, you can't sell it. So you got to make sure that the shelves are always stocked full. You didn't hear the answer. To what kind of thing? Hey, no problem. This is a cold process soap, and this particular soap bar is called Floral Garden, and it is made with activated charcoal and rose clay, and it is scented with essential oils of lavender, palmarosa, and geranium. So it has a really kind of deep floral fragrance that's not too rosy, but it is really just a very, I want to just say, I really need to learn like some better descriptive words when dealing with scents. I really should, because is heady, is that the word to use? It's like a heady, it's like, it's deep, you feel it deeply. I don't know, isn't that a terror? I suck at that. I need to work on having better descriptive words. Sorry. Any rose hip soap? No, I don't. That actually sounds really nice though, huh? But I wonder if sultry, thank you. See, there's someone with a great, that's a good word to use. Yes, sultry. That's a great, see, you have a creative writer's mind. I don't have that. So thank you for that. I should write that down. Sultry, I like it. I like that one a lot. Okay, Floral Gardens is all cut now. It's all cut and totally encroaching on my space. So I think I'm gonna have to move this stuff over a little bit to have room for the mint tea tree that's next. Let me, I try to save, you'll see like botanicals fall off, right? And I don't want to waste this stuff because I grew all this stuff. So if I have enough that can have tons of pieces of soap in it, I will be a miser. Yes, I will be a miser, and I will keep it and put it back in the jar, because this was hard work to grow this stuff. So I'm just gonna put it, well, no, I'll just go grab the jar. Hold on. So you see my jar is getting super low. I need to make more, but yeah, that wasn't too much of a save, but hey, it all counts. So let me just clean this up a little bit. This is mostly soap chunks and stuff like that. So that can go away. And then I I have a robot, so all the stuff that goes on the floor will get sucked up later today. Okie dokie, so let me just move my stacks over a little bit. So give me just a second so I can kind of clear my space a little bit better and get it out of the way. And then I think it might also be time for a little bit of a coffee snacky break, because yeah, I'm really needing coffee this morning, like seriously needing coffee. I think I'll move them a little bit more. Just I've made some of these stacks a little too high that I'm a klutz and I'll end up hitting them and just knocking everything over, and then I'm going to be really pissed at myself. So let's just move that up. Okay, perfect. All right. Okay, so this is not savable. And just a little bit of just a little bit. Let's oh, you know what? Let's try this other little snacky. This it's like a dark chocolate date and nut. It's like a little chunk of fudge, but vegan. Wow. Okay, it doesn't taste anything like fudge. More kind of like a very tasty like protein bar or something. All right, I like this one way better though. Okay, so I'm just gonna eat the one that tastes like rum. Yeah, I should have made a mental note of what these were, because damn. I think you got them at Sprouts. I don't know if Sprouts is all across the United States. Probably not. But if you're in Southern California, you know what Sprouts is. Oh my God. That's an okay second to not having the donuts this morning. But I really wanted donuts. I'm gonna be honest, I really did. I understand he's thinking about my health, but I really wanted donuts. So we might have to have a little conversation about that. Do I have a discount code? Robbie Sam? Sorry. Thank you. They look nice, thank you. I don't have like a specific discount code that I have going on right now, like for today, but I'll tell you one. I'll go ahead and tell you one. It's super easy. Sunny Bunny 10. You can use Sunny Bunny 10 on my website and that'll give you 10% off. So that's to anybody. That's to anybody that wants to use it. That's fine. Good coffee, good coffee. All right, so let's pull out the mint tea tree. The mint tea tree. This is one kind of like Floral Gardens where I was like, tea tree, I don't know. Someone brought it up to me years ago. Do you have like a tea tree soap? Tea tree, like how is that? Like this like smell or something that you like put in I might try to think like cleansers and things like that. But once I actually like smelled how amazing tea tree smells, I'm like, oh my God, yes, this smells amazing. And I was so thankful to that, question, because that question in turn then, made me want to make a soap with that scent. And I love this too. It's so, it's just very eye-opening. It's bright, it's cheerful, it's, smell that first thing in the morning and you can't help but want to wake up. It smells super good. Oh, and I forgot to show it to you. So this is the mint tea tree. I color this with olive oil infused nettle. So I take nettle powder and, oh, thank you so much. Thank you. I appreciate that. Robbie, am I saying that right? Robison? Thank you. I really do appreciate that. I infuse the nettle powder in olive oil for a minimum of 6 weeks, and then I use that olive oil as well as some green clay just to, you know, get a little bit more of a green color. But this is a very, it's kind of a, it's very rustic, but yet sleek at the same time. Does that make sense? Rustic and sleek. The color is a little rustic because you can see some of the nettle in it. But then the top, I kind of, you know, think of this as more of a little bit of a sleeker look on top, but you can kind of still see. Do you see a little bit of the nettles in it? So, yeah. So I love the scent. And then I top this with black sea salt and Himalayan salt. So kind of a contrast in colors there was what I was trying to go for. And if you're a soap maker or any kind of maker, what you envision doesn't always, you know, doesn't always happen, but, you know, I was like, you know, you get the inspiration and hopefully, you know, the end product comes out what you were hoping, but it doesn't always. And, you know, sometimes that's, hi, Keratin, you're from Iran. How cool. I love hearing where people are from. Yeah, please tell me where you're from. I think that it's fascinating to think that I'm talking, you know, I mean, yeah, you talk to people on the phone anywhere you want, but to think that you're talking to, you know, someone on social media, I just still am fascinated by it. Huh, give me. Love the tops. Well, thank you. Thank you. I appreciate that. That's the fun part. That was, and I know I've told this story before, so if you've been with me before and if you hear me say things over and over, I don't mean to, I'm not doing it on purpose. It's just, you know, some things come up and it just makes me think. That with soap tops were basically one of the reasons why I changed from melt and pour soap making to cold process. Colombia, all right. I love it. 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 Colombia, you guys. So it's like morning time. I'm assuming you guys are way different time zones. But being able to texture tops, doing the TikTok live doesn't have great battery power right now. So if I lose you, I apologize ahead of time. I don't know if that phone is going to end up dying. So I got to remember to check the charge on that phone, which is my husband's phone, and just not even thinking. So hopefully I can get done. Hold on, you guys. I just got to pull these over before that phone dies. But yeah, being able to texture the tops of soaps in more creative ways was one of the main reasons why I switched the different type of soap process. And sometimes, see, I mean, gotta use muscles, man. Gotta sometimes have muscles to get this stuff all done and lifted and opened and carried. Ooh, just carrying the soap trays for the cure racks. I have to be so careful with that because of my back. Someday I might not have to worry about my back as much. I don't know. I'm talking to a surgeon, so we'll see. I'll keep you guys posted on that. If I'm gonna be like, hey, I can't work, you know, can't do soap for a couple weeks because of surgery, that might be coming up. Because I'm getting pretty darn sick of having back pain and having to be so careful about what I do and everything that affects my back. So we'll see. We'll see how it goes. All right. Okay. I'm not keeping that. All right. A little bit of a little coffee. Okay. And a little. Okay. Mouthful. I'm trying to move this a little bit. I'm gonna cut this. How about I finish chewing and not talk with my mouth full? Okay. So this is straight pour. I don't have a swirl or anything, so it's just a very kind of natural look. Natural, yeah. This is, like I said, kind of that rustic look inside because you can see the little bits of the nettle powder in it. Oh, so what I was saying is I will cut this on the side too, just to try to avoid some of the dragging. But I'm sure there'll still be something that drags. Something always does. Okay. Plus, if you have like, if what's on top, is just on one side, if you put that on the bottom, there's less dragging. It seems just kind of common sense, but less dragging than as you're bringing the wires down. As opposed to having the botanicals or whatever on the other side, then you have more chances of it dragging down. I don't know, that seemed like pretty much common sense, but I thought I might just throw it out there anyways. I don't, hey Sheila, I don't know anything about having people joining the lives. I have to look into that. I'm not really sure what all goes into that, so I'm sorry. I don't know how to do that right now. I'm still kind of new to this, so. What type of soap are you making? This soap that I'm cutting right now is my mint tea tree soap that is made with nettle powder, scented with peppermint and tea tree and lemon essential oils, and topped with black sea salt and Himalayan salt, not Himalayan sea salt. I know my brain always wants to say Himalayan sea salt, but Himalayan isn't sea salt. I think it's just so used to saying sea salt all the time. Sea salt, sea salt, sea salt. And it smells really, really bright and just eye-opening is what comes to mind when I put this up to my nose. It's just like, woo, it smells good like that. And the tea tree and the mint have, I know mint has the menthol. I don't know if tea tree actually has that menthol note. I don't know. That's maybe a good question. But I think that menthol note is what just really makes it that woo when you smell it. Like, but it doesn't, don't get me wrong, this isn't like this smells like Vicks Vapor Rub or anything like that. It's not like that. I'm like, wait a minute, I don't want people to think that. Even though I don't think there's anything wrong with that smell. I think that's what, wintergreen or something. This isn't that as strong as that though. That would maybe be good for, a balm or something. the and okay, I'm not sure. Okay, so I appreciate that, Lauren. I don't know if you're joking though. She said, "Thank you that I'm cool to watch and thank me." She's thanking me for wearing clothes. Oh my God, are people going on lives not wearing clothes? That can't be allowed to do that, right? Yeah, I'm going to be wearing clothes always. I'm never doing this without clothes on. I don't know if she's joking or what. Oh my God, you gotta tell me if you're joking. Lemon and, oh my gosh, I can't read what that says. Lemon both are awakening. Yes, they are, definitely. They're very uplifting scents. Oh my God, so I'm sorry, I just can't get that out of my head now. Thank you for wearing clothes. All right, you're very, very welcome, girl. You're very welcome, because trust me, nobody wants to see that. Nobody wants to see me doing this without clothes. No. Oh my God, I really hope there are not soap makers out there doing this. What are you making? Jeremy, today I am cutting. I'm not making anything today, but I am cutting what I made yesterday, which is soap. What I'm cutting right now is my mint tea tree soap. Are these regular soap? Yes. I mean, I'm not sure what is regular or what isn't regular, but yes, these are just regular body and face soaps. You love different soaps? Oh, yeah, well, I'm a soap maker and I love all kinds of soaps. I think I just saw somebody saying that on TikTok clothes are optional. Okay. See, I'm probably not watching. I watch TikTok, don't get me wrong. I definitely do. I probably don't watch as many of the lives, which I probably should, because maybe then I would know more of what's going on. I don't know. I can't see how. Well, I have to assume that if people are doing things without clothes on, that they must be getting turned off or banned or something. I don't really know too much about Yanni soaps. I've heard of it, but that isn't really something that, like I said, it isn't something that I really know anything about, so I haven't really looked into it. Oh, so you got all your supplies for making soap. That's awesome. I would say definitely check out YouTube. There are tons and tons and tons of wonderful tutorials out there to learn how to make soap, as well as some really great books. If you want a couple suggestions, let me know and I'll show you some that I have. I know my mom is actually watching, and she just said, "Oh my God, people do this naked." Yeah, I would never think that either, Mom, but somebody is saying that yes, I guess they do. So, oh, Sheila, thank you. I appreciate that. Thank you so much. Oh, really? Oh, Lauren. Oh God. Okay. Well. Okay, I'm like totally I'm not like a prude or anything like that, but yeah, I'm totally not into doing this without clothes. So I would think that would be scary too. I don't want to see people doing just random stuff with no clothes on. No, but I guess there's probably a market for that. So yes, Crystal, the soaps do I mean, not to toot my own horn, but I guess maybe I'm tooting toot. Yeah, they do have a really great lather. I myself dig lather. If I'm using a soap and it doesn't lather, I get really frustrated. So that was really actually important to me when you know, putting together my recipes, that I really wanted to make sure that they always had a really good lather, as well as not only a great lather in hot water, but a good lather in just regular cold or lukewarm water. So yes, I do feel like I have good lathering properties in my soaps. Why don't you line up the end with the white part on bigger pieces? Oh, okay. Wow, somebody's got great eyes. Okay, so when I get to my last loaf, I'll tell you why. I'll tell you why. So let me get this one done, and then I'll put a loaf, full loaf, and I'll tell you why. Okay, so on the soap loaves, you have obviously the ends, right? The ends. Now these ends look fine and dandy, but some ends will look kind of crappy. It's just, you know, it just kind of is, even though this is not a crappy one. But if I had a crappy one, I wish I could show you. But sometimes, you know, if you're, oh, here's a crappy one. Okay, so here's kind of a crappy one. See how, you know, there was a little bit of a void and whatever. So these are soap ends. Well, I don't want that end to be part of a regular bar, right? I don't want that end. So I make sure that when I'm cutting the loaves, that I'm cutting those ends off. And in order to do that, I then have to move down the first cut just, you know, a hair, so that I'm cutting off that end, because I'm then going to either use that for samples, or you can buy my soap ends. I sell them in little packs. So if you want to try several scents without, you know, buying a whole bar, you can then get like a little sample set that's going to have, you know, several, depending on what you buy, you know, several soap ends instead, so that you can try them out. So that's why I don't do it all the way. So then this will cut that side's end off. Then when I get to then the opposite, or the last one, the last side of the loaf, let me get this over. Then you'll see that it will cut off now. This one. Now this one's side will be a little bit thicker because I just didn't line up the first one. But see, then this will be a soap end. That's a pretty thick soap end. You know, I could even cut that in half again. But that's what I do. So technically, I lose 1 bar per loaf by doing this. But I just like the looks of the bars that I actually sell as a bar, to not have that end look to it. And then, like I said, it isn't like these go to waste or anything, because I then either cut these up and give them out as samples, because I do give out samples with every order, no matter what you buy, or you can buy samples to try yourself that are, you know, bigger pieces, like big full pieces like this. The ones that I give out for free are, you know, cut into smaller pieces. Let's see, which way is my thing going here? There we go. All right. So now that everything is cut, I will do a quick cleaning of my cutter, because this is a piece of equipment and it's really important to keep your equipment clean, disinfected. You're welcome. Well, thank you, Cindy. I appreciate that. I think, though, I'm going to do 2 things real quick before I do that. One I just did, you probably didn't see. Chilly air means nose sometimes runs. Little quick coffee. A little swish. Okay, and then I use this really high-tech tool. You see this really high-tech tool? It's just so high-tech, isn't it? I use this to clean out in between the cutter, to get all the stuff out. Like I said, you know, all about high-tech. And then, all right, so then I'm just gonna get all that stuff that I actually may use. There's a lot of salt in there. And I'm just gonna get a little thingy there. And I either use this, you know, little cleaning rag or just, you know, regular cleaning rag or something, just to wipe everything down, because, you know, again, just want to keep everything, your tools, your equipment, everything should be clean and tidy. We don't want bacteria or, you know, yuckies to get over everything. So let's just keep, it's just a good habit to have, is once you're done, clean it off until you're ready to use it for next time. Okay, and then we'll put that away. And oh, and I got, yes, so I do have, I think, some usable little leftover things here from all that cutting, so I'm gonna just pop them in my jar for next time. See, that's like a lot of, you know, botanicals, and there's some sea salt that fell off, and I'm gonna reuse all that. It's good stuff. Okay, and then I'm gonna be stamping. Yes, equipment is expensive, you know, well, everything's expensive, especially now. It seems like everything is just getting so killer expensive. But, you know, your equipment is an investment. And I don't care if it's, you know, a $50 piece of equipment or a $1,000 piece of equipment. You want it to last as long as possible, and caring for it and keeping it clean and, you know, using it according to how it's supposed to be used, you know, all that kind of stuff is really, really important, you guys. So you want it to last. And so, yeah, keep your shit clean and take care of it. I mean, you know, like I said, it's all money. Let's not waste it. So, all right, we've been on for about an hour. I don't want to, well, Cindy, thank you so much. I'm glad you found me too. I appreciate that. So it's now time for me to cut everything, and I don't do that on lives because it's loud and obnoxious, and I wouldn't be able to talk during most of it anyways, because I'm, you know, stamping, I'm pounding, and it's kind of loud. So I do that when I'm done. What do you use for lathering soap? I'm assuming you mean like what ingredient, and that ingredient that is really, really great for lather is castor oil. So I like using castor oil to help with lathering properties, and coconut oil helps with lathering properties as well. Thanks, you too, Cindy. I appreciate it. You have a wonderful day. Well, again, thank you guys so much for joining me today. If today was the first time you joined, where did I get my stamp? My soap stamp I got from Etsy. And I've gotten several soap stamps from Etsy. Well, that was hard to say. I don't know why that was so hard to say, but it was. And they're really great. If you want to see them, I'll show them to you real quick. Pull out my stamps. So I have my stamping tools are as so. Let me grab them. Okay. Good rubber mallet. This is great. You want alcohol and then your stamps. So I have a stamp that I use for my ladies bars and a stamp that I use for my men's bars, because my men's line does have a little bit different logo. It's just, you know, a little bit more masculine than my ladies stamp. I'm trying to order but having a hard time. You're having a hard time placing an order. I'm sorry. If you can maybe let me know what's happening, I can definitely try to help you troubleshoot that. So I'm sorry that you're having a hard time. Secret to stamping your soap is the alcohol. You want both. spray your stamp first, spray it, and then do stamping. And what that will do is help the stamp from sticking into the soap, because when it starts to feel like you're having to pull it up like that, then you know that you need a little bit of a squirty squirt, and then continue on with your stamping. So super easy, but like I said, it's loud. I'll do one just to show you of why I don't do this live. So a little squirt, my mallet, make sure it's not upside down. Make sure I'm also putting my stamp on the right side, because sometimes I forget. Stamp is, okay, my botanicals are on the left. I just have to double check, because I stamp, you know, my botanicals, right, are on one side or the other, and I try to keep that uniform on that bar. So stamp, see, loud, right? And stamped. See? Can you see my little stamp, my little stampy stamp? So like I said, that's kind of loud, a little obnoxious to do live, so that's why I don't do that live. I do that once I'm done. Okie dokie, you guys. So if you have any more questions, let me know. If not, then I think I'm gonna go ahead